Hey all, here at OS Reviews, you're watching our video unboxing and review of One More's triple driver H1707. These are over-ear style headphones that retail for a tad under $200, making them fairly competitive considering they're aimed at audiophiles as a high-res audio certified pair of hi-fi quality headphones. They are significantly larger, of course, than the more popular One More in-ear style earbuds that we also reviewed a few months back. This is their triple driver. There's also a quad driver version, again, that sells for a little bit more. And on the larger version, of course, we have room for bigger drivers that should deliver more impressive sound. But again, you do have to carry around a slightly larger package. Pricing is also fair, I would say. For $200, it's not that much higher than what you would have to pay for one of their in-ear style earphones, which I'm still a huge fan of, and many months later it's held up really well in terms of sound and performance. So One More is a company based in Shenzhen, China, but again they produce these high quality audiophile grade audio equipment, and we've been again fairly impressed with their previous offerings, including Bluetooth headphones and more high-res audio certified products. They've also collaborated with Xiaomi to make some of their piston in-ear headphones, which are also excellent in terms of quality. So we have high expectations for how these will sound. So in terms of triple drivers, it's pretty rare even for larger headphones. It's really a marketing term that One More has popularized over the past few years. And even very expensive premium headphones will often have just one driver, but these have a dedicated passive radiator for extra bass. Then for the mids and highs, we have a titanium driver and a ceramic tweeter. So again, the sound quality here should be very rich and open. So it supports a frequency range of 20 to 40,000 hertz, and it simply plugs in using 3.5 millimeters. We have an inner compartment, which again looks like a book, and it's actually presented like a book as well in terms of the texture of the paper that they're using. It flips open like this, and we have these kind of detailed diagrams that show how they designed the headphones and their drivers. It has a very interesting design. It's definitely not a discreet looking pair of headphones. It has a semi-transparent look on the sides. It almost gives you a peek inside when you're wearing them of what the drivers actually look like. So they do look, again, very premium and unique from a design perspective. We have a hardshell case protecting the headphones. So here we have a soft carrying pouch if you don't want to use the larger headphones. There is a kind of a advertisement for their current product lineup, including some of their collaborations with Xiaomi, earbuds, as well as headphones and Bluetooth accessories as well. There's a One More sticker, just like what we saw before, and there's also a quick start guide / instruction manual. The cables are fully detachable, so if they fry or you want to replace them, it's completely doable. So setting this off to the side, let's take a quick look at the box. We have, again, a hardshell carrying case with the One More logo stamped onto the front. And inside we have just the headphones themselves folded up. And on the top here we have a Velcro pouch that includes the cables. This is what you use to plug 3.5 millimeters into your MP3 player or smartphone. This actually connects with both sides, left and right, on the headphones. Now I do wish it would have plugged only into one side, either left or right, but nonetheless it works fairly well. You have the One More certification QR code, and it's made out of fabric, so it doesn't tangle or tear quite as easily. There's also an adapter for other stereo kits, and we have just the headphones. So first impressions, the headphones themselves are actually quite compact when fully folded down, so I'm impressed considering that these are supposed to be larger kind of studio style headphones. And you can immediately tell that they have very interesting look, and they have a good heft as well. The entire base here is made out of a solid piece of aluminum and titanium with chamfered edges, so it definitely feels very premium, hefty in the hand. The cushions here are made out of soft memory foam and has an interesting stitching pattern going on. The top here just features the One More logo, also some aluminum accents, and if we pull this out, the headband here is also made out of aluminum, and a closer inspection, definitely not a conservative design, especially with this window that's made out of this transparent tempered glass material, giving you full access to what the driver looks like on the outside. So a very cool look that I haven't seen before on other types of headphones. We have the One More logo, and it says proudly multi-driver headphones. base radiator, and finally on the bottom here, these are the ports for connecting the left and right, and they're color coded as well. Here's what it looks like with the two cables attached, as you can see there. Cable length is roughly 1.2 meters long, which is about average, and it was pretty comfortable when I had a phone or MP3 player in my pocket listening to music and walking around. I'll have to point out though that the wire that they give you doesn't come with an inline remote, so you can't pause your music. There's no built-in microphone for answering phone calls. It's really meant for dedicated music listening. For a quick size comparison, we have the Beyerdynamic T51i, and you can tell that it is a little bit smaller just because they're on-ear style headphones as opposed to being over-ear. However, it's not dramatically smaller, and that's simply because, again, One More still went for a relatively small design. But the T51i has a relatively comparable price and also pretty good sound quality for the money. We also have the Beyerdynamic Custom One Pro. Also impressive sound, but they are much more difficult to take with you on the road. They're similar to studio monitors, so it is considerably larger and will cushion and isolate sound a lot better, but again, it sacrifices that portability compared to the One More. Moving into audio quality and performance, these headphones definitely deliver, especially in the sub $200 price range. Compared to models by Audio-Technica, it also has a very balanced sound. The most impressive thing here is that balance, considering that it has very powerful bass drivers on here. The bass itself doesn't really dominate the music unless you want it to. You can of course use your phone or MP3 player and fine-tune the EQ. You can use an amp or a DAC, and that really brings out the lower frequencies. So even though it's quite punchy and rich sounding in the lower frequencies, it also again doesn't really dominate the music if you're just playing it at a regular volume. So it has a very impressive overall sound. They have a closed-backed, I would say, overall sound stage, and it's again a very smooth sounding pair of headphones. Overall, in terms of mids and highs, it also does fairly well. I would say that vocals sound very clean, and this is a very natural sounding pair of headphones. That was again one of the more surprising elements. If you're wearing this, it definitely sounds like you're listening to, let's say, a live concert rather than a recording. It sounds very lively and dimensional in terms of the music, very expansive. If there are any slight quirks or downsides, I would say that it does have a slight amount of sound leakage, but overall not too bad. So if you are listening to music at high enough volumes, by the way, they can get extremely loud. People around you might occasionally be able to hear what you're listening to. The cushions themselves, although they are very comfortable to wear, the round shape as opposed to an oval shape means that it still kind of rests on your ears as opposed to completely enveloping your ears inside. As such, perhaps it's best suited for listening to music at home or environments where there isn't a lot of people around you. Again, they don't have active noise canceling, so they're really meant as dedicated headphones just for enjoying the music, as opposed for movements and exercising and sports, things like that. Otherwise, I found again them to be very comfortable. The cushions themselves do accumulate a little bit of heat after wearing them for about 3 to 4 hours. It's still relatively lightweight and holds itself well ergonomically on your head. It definitely is a conversation starter. It's a head turner. If you wear these on the streets, people will definitely take a closer look and ask you what headphones you're wearing. So it definitely has a very kind of flashy design, but the best thing here again is that the performance in terms of the audio quality also matches the sound. Overall, a great pick for listening to music of all genres in addition to watching films and movies. Well-controlled bass, as well as detailed trebles and pleasant sounding, natural sounding mids and highs. This definitely gives other more well-known brands such as Sennheiser and Audio-Technica a run for their money. You can check out more details in our article soon, but for now this has been our video. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews.